Well, the rain has come down here at Budds Creek, but in motocross, that just means we'll race in the mud. This is going to be exciting on NBCSN.
Marvin Musquin fired back at high point in his battle with Jeremy Martin at the top of the 250 standings.
Marvin Musquin wins Moto 1 here at High Point. Marvin Musquin goes 1-1 at High Point.
Through 5 rounds, Musquin and Martin have split the Moto wins and have dominated the class. Their duel for the 250 class championship heads into Southern Maryland and round 6 of the 250 championship.
We're just outside of Washington, D.C. for the midway point of the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship, sanctioned by AMA Pro Racing, the Geico Motorcycle, Budds Creek National. Hello, everyone. Jason Wygant, joined by multi-time motocross and supercross champion Grant Langston. Georgia Lindsay will join us on the starting line area and in the pit road all day long. And it is muddy today, but we're going to go racing anyway. And the way we always do it in motocross is with 2 motos. We already completed first moto about an hour ago in this 250 class. We'll follow it up with a 450 class in the next hour. Here's your highlights of that first 250 moto. A start so critical and the mud is flying, and a privateer, 77 in green, Justin Starling, gets the whole shot and would take advantage for his best moto finish of the season.
Yeah, it wasn't without carnage in that first corner. A lot of riders going down, but it shows you what a good start can do. Starling leads it, and then the guy that inherited the lead, Hampshire, he goes down on the backside of Henry Hill. Not quite sure what happened, but it took him a long time to get going. That really ended any hope of a good finish. And then this, Cincerello and Musquin come down to the shop off camber, and I think Cincerello ran it up the inside of Musquin. Musquin, you see here, takes a hand off the handlebar. Like, what was that?
Late in the race, Alex Martin is leading, but his back brakes go out and he loses his goggles. That all happens in muddy conditions, and his brother Jeremy is able to take the lead from him. It's with 3 laps to go, and Jeremy immediately starts pulling away, and your defending series champ looks to have it in the bag until this. 3 turns to go, he stalls the bike. Here comes Alex.
He looks back even going, whoa, is this really an early birthday present?
Unreal.
And Alex Martin takes his first ever victory. Look at him, he is pumped, beats his brother out.
Jeremy would recover to finish second, so the Martin boys go 1-2. I don't think we've ever seen that in a moto here at this level. Zach Osborne finishes 3rd. Let's send it to Georgia Lindsay at the GoPro starting gate, where I believe it's raining.
Well, the rain has started to pour, and from what we know, it's only going to keep on pouring. It's pretty bad out there now, Alex. Now, obviously, first moto win, but what are the precautions you're going to take for this race? Because obviously it's going to be pretty wet.
Yeah, for sure. We got lucky in the first moto. The skies were clear for the most part, and the track started to dry out. But now with this rain sprinkling, it's coming down pretty steady right now. So just try and get out front first lap. The start's going to be really, really important, more so than the first moto. And just try and save the tear-offs and try to stay clean.
Well, good luck. On the other side, and we've got Cooper Webb. Coop, first race back. You were battling out there, but how did you feel? Was it good to get that first race out the way?
Yeah, it was, for sure. Unfortunately, I crashed in the first turn, so it was kind of time to play catch-up. And, yeah, we were in a battle that whole time. The track's pretty hard to pass, but I felt good, and looking forward to this second moto, try to get a much better start and run up there with the boys.
And obviously, we got tear-offs, we got roll-offs. What are you running?
We're running the 100% roll-offs. The rain's coming down, so gotta have clear vision.
It's going to be interesting out there. Best of luck. Thanks, Coop.
And Webb back from injury, first turn crash, still got 6th in that first moto. Dark Horse and Moto 2. It's the Geico Motorcycle National. Geico is the government employees insurance company. So when we come near the nation's capital, which is their headquarters, good things are in store for their riders. And this time, Georgia Lindsay got to be part of it.
We're here at Joint Base Andrews. We are next to the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. in Maryland. Now, the Geico Honda riders really wanted to come out and meet some of the military members, as Geico have been supporting the military for over 75 years.
Oh, this is fantastic. What a great opportunity to interact with these young athletes here. I mean, they really are. And just talking about some of their experiences and what they have to do to try to stay in the shape that they're in, to be able to do what they do, and being able to have them here to share that with our personnel is awesome.
They all think we're, you know, big time, but they are too. You know, we respect them quite a bit, and you know, we're thankful for what they do for us, and we're thankful for it all. And yeah, getting to do this is awesome.
So we love having, regardless of whether they're NFL athletes, pro baseball players, motorcycle riders, regardless, we have such a variety of personnel that involve themselves in just a little bit of everything out there. So this is just one more opportunity for, in this case, our motorcycle riders to interact with people that do the same thing, and to be able to share those similar experiences. I think it's a treat for your riders as well, because maybe they don't know a whole lot about the military motorcycle riders. So it's a pretty cool opportunity to be able to share with them what we do, and also to hear from them about what they do.
That's pretty cool. A huge base there. The military families getting to meet some of the top athletes in Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. So we're almost ready to go racing. We'll show you what the track's supposed to look like when it's not muddy with the Kawasaki track map.
Now this is when it's beautiful. Drop that gate. Sharp left-hander, 180 degree. Go past the Fran Mechanics area. And obviously everyone wanting that motorsport.com whole shot award. Through these rollers, keep it clean, keep it tight. Being right out of the start, you can lose positions there. Over the Lucas Oil finish line jump, which everyone wants to cross that checkered flag first. Then this is the part of track, a lot of elevation down the hill, then step up to the top part. Sharp left, off camber, double right-handed. This turn very tough. We see guys getting cross-rutted, make a left. Tripling down that hill, basically impossible now with these with the rain coming down, the weather conditions. Over the Red Bull jump, then a right. And even like a jump like this Bud Light jump becomes tough because you're going up the hill. Once again, back up the hill, try and triple all the way to the top. And that's going to be really tough. And then drop down here to the sharpest, most off-cambered corner on the track. Once again, back up, step up on the brakes. Drop down, shift up a gear, get on the gas, then back on the brakes. Make a right, back up the hill. A lot of elevation here over the Fly Racing jump. Over one of their tunnel jumps are heavier, make a left, another little tabletop, and then heading up towards Henry Hill. A lot more elevation than it's showing right now. Trust me, big uphill, then drop off down to the bottom part of the track. Off camber, then back up, past where they used to have the old start line. Then you'll drop down once more and go back past the Fran Mechanics area, and that's a lap here at Budds Creek.
Adam Cincerillo was your fastest rider earlier today in the one practice session that we did have. Rain washed out the other, so he gets the Bud Light Fast Qualifier Award. Here's a GoPro track preview. This is from earlier today. Alex Martin, who ended up winning the Moto, will show you what it's like to ride it.
Yeah, Alex Martin, it all starts with a good start. Doesn't quite get the whole shot, but hey, if you're not going to be in the whole shot, you do not want to be buried either. Comes out third, but you can tell how important the starts are in these muddy conditions. These are the rollers already. You just see the roost coming. That's why we talk about how important it is for the start. Oh, you see Hampshire just getting really loose in front of him. This was before the ruts really got deep in the track. You see they cross the finish line. Green flag means all good to go. Oh, Hampshire again. So you can tell from the track work they've done. The track was slick. Guys going all over the place, basically controlling riding out of control, essentially.
So Alex would eventually get by those riders and go on to win the Moto, and kept the GoPro reasonably clean considering how much mud was out there. We'll send it back to Georgia Lindsay for one more pre-race report with the GoPro starting gate.
Yes, I'm looking a bit bedraggled right now down here on the start line because the rain is pouring. Now the track conditions are going to change a lot like we were mentioning earlier. The mud was drying up, but now with the rain we just previously had, the moisture's coming back into the mud. So obviously that's going to be a lot harder to ride physically, and the bike's going to have to work a lot harder. And we talked earlier about bikes overheating, so they've had to make a lot of precautions on the bikes as well. And then we got goggles, we have foam on the bike, we have foam under the rear render. We've got to keep that bike as light as possible so that the mud bounces right off. So you'll probably see that on the riders later.
Okay, those are Georgia's keys to the Moto. Let's get KTM's keys to the Moto, brought to you by Grant Langston.
It's pretty simple. Good start, crucial in these kind of conditions. And of course, with the rain, it's the weather is a great equalizer and We had said earlier, would there be a first-time winner? Now we've changed it. Can Alex Martin sweep and get his first victory? I can't wait. I'm you know, with this weather and the rain and everything, as you see the Fly Racing 30-second card going up, see the mechanics walking away. Some of the guys waiting to the last minute to take those umbrellas away. It's nervous time.
And Marvin Musquin, with a struggle in that crash in the first moto, finished 7th. There's a tie for the points lead once again, with Jeremy Martin finishing 2nd. So a tie for the points lead will break it here in this second moto. We'll see if Alex Martin can follow it up, get his first ever overall win. That'd also be the first one for his team. So a lot on the line. The battle today and the battle in the battle for the championship.
Start is crucial.
Cianciarulo on the 50 going to lead them into the first turn. Can he hug it tight? He's going wide, but he leads them out. So it looks like he's going to have that motorsport.com whole shot award on the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki Red Bull KTM of Musquin right there. Much better start this time in second. And these two can settle the run-in that they had in the first moto where they crashed into each other. Perhaps they can find out who the better man is in this second moto.
And right now, it's a really tough position for these guys because with the...
Oh! Jeremy Martin leaping into, I think, Savacci.
That could have gotten really ugly really quickly. Look at the raindrops on the lens of the camera. But wow, that was... Oh, look at Savacci coming back in. Oh, he is heated. You know, he's fired up. Any racer will tell you, when someone runs it in and almost cleans you out, it'll get your feathers ruffled, and Savacci's going to want some payback. But Martin... That could have been a serious change in the points in this whole championship situation. Fortunately, no one goes down. No harm, no foul. Just Savacci with his blood pressure through the roof right now. But besides that, these guys going after it. But Martin knows if he can see Musquin in front of him. They're tied in the points. It's pretty simple. His patience is going to run out, and he wants to get up there as soon as possible. Take it.
Oh, Daniel Baker, the rookie, making the move on Savacci, just sliced to the inside. A rare good start. Haven't seen many of them from Baker yet, so he takes the position back. And Savacci and J-Mart, I don't know what it is about each other, but they seem to get into these run-ins. Now a mistake from Baker, who's on the orange KTM, and that's going to allow Savacci to get him back.
Savacci had the inside, just ran it in deep, braked late, made the pass happen. Still tripling up from a lot of these guys up that hill.
So here's Savacci going to try to go back after Martin, who practically tackled him on the motorcycle to make that pass. Matt Bisceglia is third, I believe, up ahead. You don't really see him. He's not in that lead duo, and he's not in this fight either.
Well, Bisceglia's had just a rough season of having these first lap, you know, not always first turn, but first couple turns. He just seems to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. So great to see this young, talented rider get a good start. What can he do with it? And also great to see guys like Baker and guys we don't talk about a lot. But I'll say it again, the weather is the great equalizer. Gives everyone an opportunity, but you got to get a good start. Just, you can see it right now. Cianciarulo, clean track, clean them on the front, great vision, able to run his lines, and already with a 3.5 second lead. That just shows you how important the starts are, especially with conditions like this.
And Cianciarulo has never won one of these motos here outdoors. He's certainly won a couple of Supercrosses, but hasn't really raced much with us outdoors. Raced half a season 2 years ago. It started right here. This was actually his first ever pro motocross race at Budds Creek. And got through that season and then was injured all of last year. So he's been building, had a second in a moto, first one at High Point at our previous event. But he would love to finally get that first moto victory under his belt. And looking good so far. 4.5 seconds now the lead over Musquin.
Yeah, he looks really comfortable. And the nice thing is, being out front, you got clear vision. And I say clear vision, you'll probably see him pulling the roll-offs just because of the rain.
Right.
And a lot of times, hey, don't worry, feet off the pegs is just standard in these kind of conditions. Not sure how heavy the rain is. It seems like it's lightened up just a little bit, but we know there's a lot of weather coming through today. It's how lucky are we going to be to avoid some of it, or is this just going to be an absolute mudfest by the end of the race?
And Musquin's still lurking back there on some of the wider camera shots. You can see him. So one mistake or two from Cianciarulo, he could be right there in a battle for the lead. Bisceglia still holding off Martin. And Savachi and Osborne now 5th and 6th. Baker has gone backwards. He must have had a crash on that Orange Brigade KTM. He's now 14th. But AC here, I have to figure that the weekend off has to have helped him because he was kind of rebuilding his fitness going into the year. Here's your motorsport.com whole shot replay. Certainly had the first 100 or so feet of this race figured out.
You see all the good starts coming from near the inside, meaning towards, you know, as we look the right-hand side of the screen. You've got to be in those first sort of 10 gates. You see Cincerello, a little mistake there when he tries to come out, but watch Musquin comes across the track, feet off, catches the bank. But not a question right there. Look at that, the number 50 comfortably getting the whole shot. Just how he scripted it in his head.
Yeah, so he can see at least, if not great, better than everybody else. Musquin 4 seconds back. So Musquin made up a half a second that last time around. And off the track, these guys ride and train together every day. They live down in Florida, work with Alden Baker. But no love lost in motocross. I guess Cincerello tried to make a pass in that first moto. Didn't work. And sent them both down. And that cost Musquin dearly in the points. Here is Bisceglia. First time we've actually seen him on the Geico Honda in third. So the Geico brass who are here from Washington, D.C. have to be happy about him. And like you said, he has just been beset by all kinds of trouble early in these races. A few weeks ago at Muddy Creek in Tennessee, Musquin crashed in the first lap and Bisceglia just bumped into him. Nowhere to go, got stuck in a rut, couldn't get going. So he's got to be happy to at least have an opportunity to show what he can really do. But he also has to deal with the champ, Martin, who's right behind him.
Yeah, and Martin, you know, if you're Matt Bisceglia, and you got the number 1 behind you, that adds a little extra pressure. And I know it's early in the second moto, but the way the points are right now, Jeremy Martin would win the overall and be your new points leader. Well, not really. It's going back and forth, but Musquin's ahead of him. And so at the end of the day, as far as the points go for the series, if it stays the way it is now, Marvin would have about a 4-point lead. But J Mart would still win the overall and claw back a few more points on him.
Alex, not a great start. Your first moto winner, Alex Martin, is 9th right now. So yeah, that has allowed Jeremy Martin to be your overall leader on points at the moment. But Alex has some ground to make up. He's in 9th. And Jeremy's trying to make a pass for 3rd on Bisceglia. Next Saturday morning at 7 Eastern, the Grand Depart of the Tour de France is on NBCSN, and the world's best riders will embark on 21 days of racing. And who will survive and wear the yellow jersey? Find out. It's part of the NBC Sports Championship season. Coverage begins next Saturday morning, 7 Eastern on NBCSN. And we have a tussle for the lead now at Budds Creek with Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. Your leader is Adam Cincerello on the 50. But Marvin Musquin has caught him. First 3 laps, a flurry from AC. He was able to get away, but now Marvin is on the charge. Marvin is moving.
Which he is. You see Cincerello not tripling up that hill. So Marvin now right there on the rear wheel, eating that roost in the mud. So you know he doesn't want to sit here for very long. He wants to get around Cincerello, keep that clear track, clear vision. Because the last thing these guys want to do is toss their goggles. That's basically when you run out of roll-offs, you can't see and you have no choice. Because no one really wants to get rid of their goggles. No. But sometimes it just, you have no option. But you see the gap just stretches and closes a little bit here and there. And that's a lot to do with just the condition.
Well, hanging in there, Adam is keeping Musquin at bay. And Musquin is going to have to deal with the roost, like you said, if he gets any closer than this. So he's got to be very... Oh, no! Cincerello makes it easy on him and goes down. And this has been a recurring theme for Cincerello this year. These little crashes here and there, not big, as they call yard sale crashes, where stuff just goes flying in every direction, but little tip overs, washouts. Man, that has got to be frustrating for him.
That was... we didn't quite see exactly what happened, but if I'm going to take a guess, I think he came down that hill and really just stuffed that bike into the rut. But the problem is with the rain, the rut starts basically loosening up. So it's like it softens up. So when you bury the bike, by bury I mean lean it in and really put it in hard, trying to go as fast as possible, the wheels will actually dig into that rut and sometimes just suck you in and just take that front wheel down. And That's what, unfortunately, that's what can happen in these conditions. You see the rain still continuing to fall. The track is slick. And when you're leading, it's really tough when you're trying to do everything and then someone like Muskin comes behind. Oh, see that little off balance? That's another thing with these off cambers. When they get slick, you slide into them, and sometimes when you hit that rut, it stands the bike up. And I think you're going to see more of that as the day goes on. But Cincerello lost a little bit of time, lost the lead. Looks a little flustered right now, actually. Like he may have lost his rhythm. Maybe he's frustrated at himself, but he needs to take a deep breath, pull it back together. Cooper Webb a little bit further down the track. He's sitting now in 8th place, but solid race.
Alex Martin, your first moto winner, behind him. So Alex trying to make up some ground, make some passes, and maybe salvage the overall win. But he's going to have to pass 4 or 5 riders to make it happen. Now that Jeremy is up to 3rd, Alex is 9th. Cooper Webb right in front of him. Pair of Yamaha riders. Yamaluke Star Racing Yamaha for Webb. CycleTrader.com Rock River Yamaha for Alex Martin. But they will be teammates next year. It was announced this week that Alex has signed with the Star Racing Yamaha team. So we'll get the bump from the factory-supported team to the full factory effort next year. And a great reward for him for all the hard work he's put in.
Oh, he deserves it completely. He's been the guy that has been... and already the goggles. We're not even halfway through, and our Moto 1 winner is now having to deal with not only the roost, the mud, everything, but without goggles. This is going to make it a miserable long moto for him. But that's why these guys are champions. That's why these guys get paid the big bucks. And I'm sure with Amart's new contract, he will be getting the big bucks on the factory team. But very well deserved. This guy's been one of the fastest non-factory riders in either class. Won that first moto, and I'm gonna have to go and find out, but I'm pretty sure in no major series of motorsport racing has a brothers finished 1 and 2. So pretty cool to see that.
Yeah, certainly not in motorcycle racing. I think you might have seen it on the NASCAR side or something like that.
Yeah.
But out here, we've had a couple of good battles out there with brothers, but nothing quite like this that the Martins have done today. Jeremy on the move now on the number 1. He has caught Cincerello, and I think that was kind of inevitable with all the mistakes that Cincerello made the last time around. So we'll see if he can hold Jeremy off. His greatest weapon is the roost and being able to get the guy that's behind him, but he couldn't use it against Muscan because he crashed. So let's see if he can put up a fight now against Jeremy Martin.
Well, on that last lap alone, J-Mart was able to close up 8 seconds on Cincerello. So if you're going to keep making those kind of mistakes, 8 seconds a lap is a huge gap. In the dry, we'd never see that. Look at this.
Wow.
Leader's last lap time, 2:09. Cincerello did have that tip over, but 2:22. We're talking 13 seconds. That's a lifetime in this sport. And J-Mart still tripling up that hill, and he gets always ever so closer to Cincerello.
So Martin all over him, and now he doesn't have to really play the strategy game. Where am I going to pass this guy? He knows the mistakes could happen. So let's try to put the heat on and see if he can make it. And this is where Cincerello went down the last time. Halfway through this moto, and that means in 15 minutes you can save 15% or more on your car insurance, or in 15 minutes this moto will be coming to a close. We'll have 2 laps to go at that point. Sorry, it wasn't that hill that Cincerello crashed on. It's this one coming up at the bottom.
After Henry Hill. You hear these guys just revving the bike so hard. These machines, especially these 250 machines, take a real abuse, get abused the engines because of the fact that they're using the throttle so much, just trying to get in and out of these corners. The radiators are getting packed with mud. There's more weight on the bike. So a real testament, it just shows you to the longevity of these machines nowadays.
Georgia, who do you have down there in the Frat Mechanics area?
Yes, I have the Airman First Class Phil Bryant. Now that just sounds great, but he looked after us when we went down with the Geico boys to the airbase. Now thank you so much for having us. The Geico guys had a great time, but now you're at a dirt bike race standing in the rain. What's your thoughts?
This is awesome. I love the sounds, the smells. I got to meet some of the guys, and this is just great.
Well, do you think that it's something that possibly you could get your hands on a dirt bike?
No way. No, absolutely not. I'm awful at balance, everything.
Well, thanks so much for having you. I know that Geico have been supporting the military for over 75 years, and we really appreciate it. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Well, that says a lot when a guy that's in the Air Force says, I don't know if I can handle this. Shows how tough it is to ride a motocross bike, especially in these conditions. Cincerillo is out there fending off Jeremy Martin, and we might finally have someone who could play the spoiler role. Alex Martin beat both Musquin and Jeremy in the first moto. Cincerillo trying to split them here. The Geico Motorcycle Budds Creek National Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship, the number 25 on the Red Bull KTM, leading the way, getting through some lap traffic. That's Marvin Musquin, the Frenchman. And we kind of stereotype in this sport. We're not so good at geography, so when it rains, we say, oh, the French guys, no, they're going to be good in the mud. I talked to Marvin this morning. He said, no, I do not go out and practice in the mud. I haven't done that since I was a kid. So he's raced 2 mud races, he feels, in the last 5 years. One when he was in the Grand Prix Tour in Europe. And last year we had a real mudder, much worse than this, at the Ironman National in Indiana, and he won it. So he's still comfortable in these conditions, but it's not like they go out and practice in it. Did you practice in the mud ever? Is that something guys even try?
I did at times. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I was terrible in the beginning, and I think I had a bad attitude. So sometimes just going out and riding in the mud and starting to almost give yourself some self-confidence and go, hey, you know what? I can ride. You know, it doesn't matter if it's sand, hard pack, clay, mud, whatever. A good rider should be able to perform on any given day, and that's what champions have to do. So for all of these guys, it doesn't matter. Everyone's on the same track. It's the same conditions for all of them. You make your own luck, like getting a good start, because that just solves so many of your problems. 90% of your race was done right there.
Yeah, that's the difference in Moto 1 earlier today where Musquin struggled, and right now where he's leading it. But he's having to deal with a lot of lap traffic. Second place here is Adam Cincerillo. Now, he has lost a lot of time to Musquin, but he's pulled back away from Jeremy Martin, who was pressuring him at one point. So your champ, about 4 seconds back. So that was just one mistake led to another there. AC's back in the game now.
Yeah, anything can happen in these conditions. That's why I said it's hard to gain a lot of time, but it's easy to lose a lot of time with these conditions. You know, usually in the dry, the guys are catching that quarter second, half second a lap. I mean, we've seen gaps per lap just change by, you know, 6 to a dozen seconds. But I'm wondering if maybe Martin doesn't have some vision issues, which is possibly why he backed off the rear wheel from Cincerillo, trying to see where he's going. See Cincerillo grabs a roll-off. No one in front of him, but that's just from the rain coming down, just trying to give himself some clear vision. If we get a chance to drop back and see where J-Mart is, this could be interesting. Look at the top of the screen. That shows you right now how the overall would be. Jeremy Martin, 42 points. He would win today. Musquin, 3 back, would hold the lead leaving here, but loses 3 crucial points. And then Alex Martin would be 3rd on the podium. So look at that, 3 behind, 4 behind, 6 behind, and 7 behind for Cincerillo. But I still imagine that there could be a little change before this is all said and done.
All right, we'll give you the gap here between the 50 and the number 1. There it is.
I'm trying to see if he's still got his goggles on. Let's see if we can get a close-up. It looks like he actually does. Which he held on to them the whole first moto, which I do believe had a real effect on the outcome of the race, because he was picking it up at the end when I feel like the other guys were, you know, probably partially blind with mud and unable to quite see it.
Let's learn a little more about the goggles here from Georgia.
Yes, as the rain is coming down and I appear to have mud on my goggles. This is just a replication of the Oakley goggles that a lot of guys wear out there. There's a long strip of plastic, and all you have to do is you just pull this and it gets rid of the dirt. Obviously, there's only a certain amount of plastic that can go through these things, which is why a lot of guys, they've gone through it and they've dumped them. And another reason for that is the tear-offs on these are just one piece of plastic and you just tear it off. Just like that. But the roll-offs in the weather like this is what you need, because of the rain, the mud. You just can't get enough of it. And you'll notice now that more than half of the pack have actually dumped their goggles, which is unfortunate, because then you really have no vision whatsoever.
Yeah, you get a lot more pulls of the roll-offs.
Yeah.
The tear-offs you'll run out. As we're watching Savacci right now, who is in 4th. He's gotten around Bisceglia and pushed him back to 5th. Then Webb, Osborne and Martin. Webb has made the move on Osborne. Martin's going to try to do the same. Savacci's been quiet this year. He's just been one small notch away from having a great season. He's had a few moto podiums here and there. He seems to get 4th and 5th when the podium makes all the difference. Maybe one good moto and one bad one, so he doesn't get on the overall podium, but he's ridden well.
He's been knocking on the door several times, and I got to imagine it's only a matter of time. We're going to see him on the overall podium finish. But just to get back to George's point about roll-offs and tear-offs, you know, obviously you think, well, why would anyone run tear-offs, you know, if you can get far more pulls out of roll-offs? Well, with those roll-offs, you have just a thin film across basically your eye line, but the bottom and the top of your goggles will get caked with mud. With tear-offs, and nowadays with modern technology, they have laminates. So in other words, they take very, very, very thin plastic and they laminate about 8, almost what we call as one stack. So these guys can put on 3 or 4 stacks. You know, back in the day, oh, look at that, great pass there. Webb must have had a conversation with Barsha between motos on how to power slide up the inside of that off camber, but he makes the pass really nice. Gotta say, good ride back for Cooper Webb after that ankle injury and not racing since round 1 when he injured it up at Hangtown. And he looks like he's not done yet. He's going for it.
Yeah, trying to get Savacci now. Webb. Oh!
He went down.
I think so.
He went down. Look at that.
You saw the dirt.
Yep.
Oh, man.
He lost the front end going up that jump. And right when we're giving him so much praise, you see he keeps the clutch in. Oh, and then unfortunately loses it. Now he stalled the bike.
Oh, boy.
The front end's probably twisted. You could, oh, yeah, you can see it looks a little twisted from here. And that is such a, I don't, you know, just takes the wind out of your sails, especially in these conditions, because now the bike's bent, you got mud on your hands, you've lost ground, you're breathing heavy. Sometimes your goggles will actually steam up just from the sweat and the heat that your body produces. And how about Zach Osborne? We haven't talked about him a whole lot this moto, but just slowly creeping in the picture.
He is 6th, trying to get Bisceglia. Takes advantage of the crash by Webb, and Alex Martin will move up a position as well. He is now tied with Musquin in overall points for the day. Second moto is a tiebreaker, so Musquin would still finish second, but if Alex can gain one more spot... Wait, the big change. Our screen says Jeremy Martin now back to 6th. Jeremy Martin must have had a mistake, and that would put Musquin in position to win the overall, tied with Alex. Alex, if he can pick up a position, could still win this thing. So Jeremy has gone from 3rd to 6th. This is exactly what we thought would happen in these conditions. Riders are making mistakes now. They're losing goggles as well. And it is all sorts of shaking up. So Musquin has a shot at the overall win, and we're going to try to sort this out. Will one of the Martin boys be able to get back up there, or is Musquin going to steal an overall victory with a 7th and a 1st? These are mud races for you, folks. You never know. Oh, the wait is almost over. We're 1 week away from NASCAR's return to NBC Sports. It's July 4th weekend live from Daytona with the Sprint Cup Series Coke Zero 400 powered by Coca-Cola. It starts next Saturday at 6:30. The Xfinity Series Subway Firecracker 250 right here on NBCSN. And we have more Martin on Martin crime, and there is so much on the line here. Jeremy Martin in front of Alex. If Alex makes the pass, that should be enough to give him the overall victory today when we combine both races, and that would be the first ever overall victory for him. Now right in front of them they have Zach Osborne and also Matt Bisceglia. That's a lap rider right here on the 273, so they're getting it around him. That's Elliott. So that's not a change in the running order.
We see time has expired, but not before Musquin crossed the finish line. So just kind of like the first moto, they're going to have to do not an extra lap, but they didn't quite cross the line. Yeah. In other words, with the mud, they've slowed down just enough, but they're still going to do probably the same amount of laps that they would have done in the dry. But this is pretty interesting. We have two brothers. Look at them battling to do the jumps. See, Jeremy Martin not quite able to get over, and then Alex was able to get over the jump, so he closes up a little bit. But this right here is for the overall. Big Martin needs to get by his younger brother and reigning champ for the overall. So as you can imagine, this is probably a pretty interesting conversation for the Martin parents right now.
Yeah, John and Greta got to be proud of their boys as they battled. They went 1-2 in the first moto, and they trained together. And I talked to Johnny O'Mara, who's the trainer for Jeremy Martin. Jeremy was not happy about how things went at our last race at High Point, lost the points lead there, and he said they went through hell in the 2 weeks between these races with the amount of training they put in. He said we almost killed Alex with the amount of work that Jeremy was putting in and how hard Alex was going to stay with him. And now we've got a driving rain. Yeah. Goggles are off. This is going to be flat, nasty conditions for this last 2 laps with the overall hanging in the balance. Musquin has it. If Alex passes Jeremy, Alex will take it away from him. And they do have Osborne right in front of them.
It's all bunching up now. It goes from racing to surviving. No goggles. Vision is not good. The bikes are heavy. Lines are going everywhere. There's lappers. There's so much going on at the end of this race. And that just creates the elements of anything can happen. We saw that in the first moto. We thought, wow, Alex Martin had it down. Then Jeremy came by past him. We thought, okay, great, brother, 1-2. And all of a sudden, Jeremy just makes a little mistake. It does kind of gift wraps a moto win to his brother, but you can see the rain in the background. These guys, you'll notice the head is tilted down more than normal, and that really is just to try and prevent the rain from hitting you in the eyes. Because when you're hitting 50, 60 miles an hour on some of these straightaways, it starts stinging in the face.
Alex, he's lost a little bit of ground, and it's going to be tough in the rain to make a pass. So here's your running order. Musquin's in the lead, and 7th in the first moto, and a win here would give him the overall. Cincerillo and Savacci are now 2nd and 3rd, so good runs for the Monster Pro Circuit Kawasaki riders. Bisceglia 4th on the Geico Honda. Occasionally you see Osborne. You see him in the center right now on the Rockstar Husky. He is in 5th, dueling with Bisceglia. Then it's the Martins on the Yamahas.
And that's the hard point. Look at these guys. No one has their goggles. They've all had to toss it so you can catch up to someone, but then all of a sudden they come out of a corner, grab a handful, and you can't see. So you're going to see this yo-yo effect. But the key is, if you can get close to a guy, just make it happen. You got to just make it happen. By that, I mean, I don't care if it's inside, outside, running it deep.
Or your brother. You don't care if it's your brother. Stuff him.
You got to just do what you got to do, because right now this is really crucial. See Osborne sliding out in the mud there. No one quite close enough. J-Mont, but he can triple up the hill. Now he's close enough. If he was a little closer before that mistake, that was the opportunity. That's what I'm saying. It's survival, but you got to just literally put your head down in more ways than one, right, and go for it.
So Bisceglia and Osborne battling for 4th and 5th. This is Osborne here. See the point to the top of your screen. As we've said, Alex needs to gain a point. He would do it if he passes his brother. And Savacci, by the way, would be on the overall podium. So well done for him, running 3rd right now. That is so close.
How close are the points? 3 points between the first 5 riders. I mean, that's why I said, until the checkered flag gets thrown, we're on the white flag lap now as Musquin takes that. But this is not done. I mean, we got another lap. We saw in the first moto what can happen in these conditions. Anything can happen, but you kind of want to just see Alex Martin make one position up and get his first ever overall. We talked about the weather being the great equalizer, and could we see a first-time winner? We saw a moto win from Alex in the first moto, and now he's going to find himself tied for the overall win, but he will lose it based on the second moto finish with Musquin.
And although they're brothers, and they say they love each other, as we're watching Musquin in the lead, Cooper Webb back up, but now going a lap down, so a rough moto for him after a crash. Actually 13th, that's not too bad. He's a lap down.
Well, it just shows you how far up these guys have lapped.
Right, but O'Mara, the trainer for Jeremy, says, you know, they're still competitive, these two brothers, and they do have friction with each other when they push each other during the week, and now they're battling in both of the motos on the track, and that could affect the overall, the points lead and everything, getting very tense in that situation. Musquin wasn't happy his training partner, Cincerillo, ran into him in the first moto, and he was mad at him. So everything's good leading into the season when everybody works together, but racing has a way of letting things boil over, both with the motorcycles and with the emotions.
It's emotional sport.
Yep.
You know, when you're out there with the helmet on, you're giving it everything. Brothers don't matter, teammates don't matter. It's all about doing your job. And this guy, what a rebound from that first moto. Didn't get the start. Second moto gets the start. Perfect race for him.
Marvin Musquin looked like the day was going to be bad. He salvages it, wins the moto. And that should be enough for the overall win.
Let's wait and see.
Yeah, if Alex makes a move here, they are tied at the moment. Musquin wins it with the tiebreaker being the better second moto finish. If Alex were to somehow figure out a way around his brother or someone else in this last lap, it would be over, and he would take the overall win. There's Patil, the wife of Musquin. I think they're still trying to figure out the points themselves.
They're having a little powwow over there. They're probably waiting to see who crosses the line and how it ends up.
Here's Alex. That is Jeremy right in front of him. That's the same corner where Jeremy stalled in the first moto. Not going to give them the gift this time. We'll follow him all the way through with a turn to go. And look, they're saying, you got to go get him. You got to go get him. This is the overall win.
It might be your brother, but move him out of the way, please, for the overall. But wow, great racing.
I don't think he's going to get it. Here comes Jeremy across the line. Now he's going to be disappointed. 6th place in the moto is not what he wanted. He had the chance to retake the points lead from Musquin. He's not going to get it. And Alex is just going to miss out on the overall win. Georgia does have the rider who did get the overall. Georgia?
As we had to wait just until that last minute to double check, he did get the overall, but you did. Huge congratulations. Well done, Marvin.
Position overall?
First. Yep, that's why I'm interviewing. He even asked me, which position am I? Huge congratulations. Now, the first moto, we didn't see a normal Marvin Musquin. Did you make changes between motos?
Yes and no. I didn't do the power lap, and then so I didn't do a practice start. So it was really soft from the mud, and that was a mistake from my side. But anyway, didn't get a good start first moto, and I was actually being patient, just following the guys, not crashing. And actually, Adam Sanciolo came really close to me in the same red, and we crashed together, and I was stuck. And I was mad at him, but that's racing, and try my best. I got a 7th. I was not happy, and I was like, man, that second motor is going to be tough. But I got a decent start, and I was behind Adam, and Adam went down again. And that's racing, and then I got into the lead, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna look back, and I'm gonna focus on my lines, and back was working actually really good. And when I'm riding like that, the bike is awesome. When I'm riding the way I rode first moto, that's not so good. The feeling is not good. So I'm really happy about that second moto. It's hard to believe that I got the overall, but I take it. That's racing, and I'm glad it's over today. It didn't rain much, but a little bit, and my 100% goggles, the roll-off. The system worked really well in that second moto. So thank you guys. Aero helmet with that extra visor and all that stuff. So it's good, and I want to say hi to all the people in France, all my family and my friends. I know they're watching every Saturday night, so thank you for the support.
Bonjour, everybody. And congratulations. Well done, Marvin, with the overall win there.
Hey, it's a crazy day when the guy who won the race didn't know that he was the guy who won the race. We'll talk to the rest of the podium finishers next. Back on a rainy and muddy day at Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. I'll show you the race recap in this final 250 moto of the day. It was crazy. Adam Cianciarulo here in the green, number 50, grabs the whole shot. Yeah, the track is messy. You can see the mud starts flying. A couple riders went down. Marvin Musquin on the 25 gets to second, putting some heat on AC, and then Adam dumps it and allows Musquin to take the lead away. Cianciarulo had a bad lap after that, and that would allow Jeremy Martin to catch him. But then Martin would make some mistakes and go backwards. Through all this, Musquin pulls away, wins the moto, but he finished 7th in the first moto earlier in the day. So you're figuring no chance he's going to win the overall, but everyone else had problems. Jeremy Martin slipped back to 6th. Alex Martin finished 7th. When you add that all up, that makes Musquin today's winner with a 7th and a 1st. That was the best overall combined score. Cianciarulo finishes 2nd. Alex 2nd overall. So close. Let's send it to Georgia.
I know, unbelievable, so close. First off, you get your first overall win, then you nearly got your first overall podium, but congratulations. But it's been a tough day with the weather, and you were just saying it was really tough with the goggles off and everything else, but how was that second moto?
Yeah, like you said, 2 big milestones in one day for me. No, just ecstatic for sure. In between motos, I had an issue with the motor, so my mechanic swapped motors, so there at the pit. Today was tough. It's one of the races that'll probably decide the championship because it was technical and you could easily fall and get stuck behind people. It was a great track today. I can't thank the Cycle Trader, Rock River, Yamaha, Roostem-X, Enzo, Never Summer, Rhino Power, Fly, Garnet, Bell, everyone enough. They've been behind me all year. It's been a great year, and I'm just stoked to get the first podium. of my career, and I'm so happy right now. I don't even know what else to say. Just pumped.
Well, onwards and upwards, maybe. Well done, Alex Martin. We're proud of you.
Here's your overall results.
How about that?
Who would have thought it would come down to 7th?
But
making the difference.
that's what happens in these mud races. 7-1 for the overall, and Martin, poor Alex, 1-7 ties, but doesn't get the buffer. Look at that, Savachi finally on the podium.
Yeah.
We talked about it. He's had motos on the podium, but he gets an overall. Jeremy, not quite able to get up there, but still a good solid points day.
Send it back to Georgia.
Yes, Joey on the podium. We were talking earlier about you being able to get more riding in, and with that 2-week break you got to ride during the week. Do you think that really helped, and are you feeling like it's really getting you back into the race shape that you need to be?
Yeah, I mean, days like today are kind of out there. A lot of things happen, and when it's muddy, crazy things happen, but my Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki got me off to a great start, both motos. Rode a little bit tight that first one, but that one was able to get away good, just kind of let him slip away. Those first few laps, got to work on that. But like you said, to be able to ride during the week has helped me a lot down there with Jeannie and Ricky Carmichael. They've been helping me out a bunch, and my trainer Clint, and obviously Mitch. Mitch isn't here; he's at Mammoth, but at least we're finally able to both be on the box. Sucks he can't be here, but we're getting closer to that middle part of the box. Like he always tells me, the trophies are bigger in the middle. So we'll keep working towards it and never give up.
Well, congratulations, well done, Joey. And the other Pro Circuit rider we have next to me is Mr. Adam Cincerillo. Now, Adam, that second moto, you were leading and you had 2 mistakes. You had to get over them and be able to make it through. Talk me through the mistakes you've been making, because obviously we need to get rid of those.
Yeah, it's tough, especially when you're in that good a position off the line. Finally got a good start, and it crashed twice in one lap, which wasn't productive at all. But you know what? I'm looking at it like I'm kind of a rookie. I've only had a few races before this, so just trying to get better every weekend. I think I'm doing that. I'm accomplishing my goals for the most part. Of course, there's mistakes, but I just can't say enough about the people that believe in me. I have some rough motos, and I don't always use the advice they give me. But they're still supportive and still right there behind me, and they all believe in me. So thank you guys very much, and thanks to the fans.
Congratulations, well done, Adam.
Yeah, man, he's getting so close to getting that moto victory, but denied again today. He did climb up to 3rd in the points. Rough day for Jesse Nelson, who slides from 3rd back to 6th. Savachi into 4th. We told you he's been quietly strong this year. But the big story up front, Musquin ends up 2 points further ahead than he was when the day began, which never would have thought that was possible the way the first moto went.
And they were tied after the first moto, so crazy.
Incredible how this has all worked out. Even Marvin himself was a little bit surprised. And Alex, a great day today as well.